Yay! Oh. We're playing Doki Doki Literature Club. Oh, how precious. I can't wait. Donut. Hey! I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. Eh? You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Donut. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Donut, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting on by the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET? In a few years. What's a NEET? You trust me, right? Wait, what the hell is a NEET? Not in education, employment, or training. So a bum. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I promise you that. Yay. Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. ... Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the room, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, that you can come to my club. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Vice President of the Literature Club. Not that I was ever aware she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title of Vice President. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Why do you care so much? Well, I kind of told the club I would be bringing in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if she's that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? That's right. If there's cupcakes, I'm going. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being genuinely used for third year. Okay, we're just gonna pretend like I read that correctly. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I don't like that the music stopped suddenly. Oh, okay, we have new music. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Girl 1. Nice to meet you too, Girl 1. Seriously, you brought a boy? Oh, I didn't know I was a boy. Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Donut, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. ... All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made cupcakes. You could just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy, and this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? That's right. It's great seeing you again, Donut. She smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. She was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monika. Come sit down, Donut. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monika. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have arranged a few desks to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little kitties! The whiskers are drawn with icings, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute. I had no idea you were so good at baking. Well, you know, just hurry and take one. Why does she have little vampire fangs? Sayori grabs one first, then Monika. I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I... Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe, but not for you. You know, you dummy. I give up on her weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri is just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know... I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Sorry. Monika raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monika that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home. As president, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting. Monika, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monika is a really great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events, like the festival, that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining, though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Donut, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read the past few years, I don't have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing her sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of her own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that, but if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud, and Give Me That Back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hand on her shoulders. I'm not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Yeah, well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. She averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not very confident writer yet? I understand how she feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. They look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will all help us get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Donut? She smiles warmly at me. Hold on, there's still one problem. Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. So Yori might have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... Donut. You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls... Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remembers tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting, so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Donut, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside of me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Donut, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, we never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of the girls. Alright! I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Warm, sunset, journey, scars, imagination, rain cloud, vacation, raindrops, whisper, music, waterfall, socks, analysis, shopping, no, infinite, universe, fluffy, doki doki, sticky, sing, question, massacre, jeez, determination, alright, hi again, Donut, glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Donut. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. She finds her stuff stuck between saying Monika and manga. Manga is literature. She pops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Donut always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking, like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come you and Donut can become good friends too? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. She reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so you should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Thank you, I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monika to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So Yuri and Monika are having a cheery discussion in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Man, it looks like no one wants to be bothered today. I slump down into the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature-related by myself like this? I guess I could always read some of the book Yuri gave me, but I'm feeling a little too tired to read. I could probably fall asleep right now. I close my eyes and end up listening in on Sayori's conversation with Monika. We're probably going to seem really lame compared to all the other clubs. Well, we can't give up. The festival is our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. The problem is that the idea of a literature club sounds too dense and intellectual, but it's not like that at all, We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Something that speaks to their creative minds. That doesn't solve the problem, though. What do you mean? Even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, nobody will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So it's more important to figure out how to get people to show up in the first place, you know? And after they come, we can do the thing to speak to their creative minds. Well, what's this? Sayori is taking this really seriously. It's rare to hear her deliberating like this. That's a good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick? What kind? I guess we could... Cupcakes! Good thinking. Natsuki would love to do that. You're right. Natsuki makes the best cupcakes. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it? Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. Cupcakes it is, then. Anyway, we still need to work out the details of the event itself. I find myself smiling. In the end, Sayori is still her usual self. But therein lies the unexpected reason I admire her. Unlike me, who has had trouble finding any motivation at all, she can put her mind to things and make them come to life. I suppose that's why I end up letting her get on my case about things. I can't help but wonder what it would be like to see the world through her eyes. Blah! I open my eyes to find her face filling my vision. I nearly fall out of my chair. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. It's your fault for sleeping like that. This isn't a napping club. Does our school have a napping club? You're staying up late again, aren't you? Now that you're in a club, you're gonna have less time for anime, you know. You'll need to get used to it. Don't say that so loud. I glance over my shoulder to see if Monika heard. It's true, though. I know. You're always looking out for me. That's a problem. What about you? You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. Not every day. That's not very convincing. How many days this past week have you gotten up on time? It's a secret. I knew it. Come on. At least give me the benefit of the doubt. I can't even do that. Look, Sayori, it's written all over you. She glances at herself. How is it written all over me? You were clearly in a rush this morning. Your hair is sticking out all around here. I'm just like making fun of her. I run my fingertips down the side of her hair. Man, you really need a brush for this. My hair is just really hard to get right. There's more than just your hair. Your bow isn't straight either. And there's a toothpaste stain on your collar right there. I try to wipe the stain off with my finger. But nobody would ever notice that. Of course they would. Nobody's going to tell you about it because they don't want to embarrass you. Fortunately, I don't really care about that. Hey, you Mimi. And you don't even have your blazer buttoned up. Why do you think you don't have a boyfriend yet? Oh, she doesn't have a boyfriend because she forgot to button her blazer. And there's a tiny bit of toothpaste on it. That's why she doesn't have a boyfriend. That's super mean. Sorry, but you'll thank me later. I start to button her blazer from the bottom. Once you see how much better it looks, you'll change your mind. Y'all, this is getting weird. This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does these kinds of things. Eh? Don't not say that. You'll make me feel weird about it, stupid. It's okay, though. I'm happy we're like this. Aren't you? I guess. Hey, be careful. The button might come off. Why is this one so hard to close? Because you're closing it around her massive ass titties. That's why. I struggle to fully close the button near her chest. Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. If you ever buttoned it, you would have noticed sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore. What are you smiling about? It means my boobs got bigger again. Don't say that out loud. Anyway, you look much better now, so why does it feel strange to see her blazer buttoned up like that? But it's so stuffy. It's not worth it. She hastily unbuttons her blazer once more. Whew, that's so much better. She puts her arms out and twirls around. So if I keep it unbuttoned, then I won't get a boyfriend, right? What kind of logic is that? And why are you saying it like it's a good thing? Because if I had a boyfriend, then he wouldn't even let you do things like this. And you take care of me better than anyone else would anyway, so that's why I'm keeping it unbuttoned. Stop saying all these embarrassing things. I didn't say anything embarrassing. Well, anyway, just focus on waking up a little earlier. Only if you focus on going to bed earlier. Fine. It's a deal. I guess we really are better at taking care of each other than we are at taking care of ourselves. Yeah, I guess so, huh? So maybe you should come wake me up in the morning. You're doing it again. I was joking that time. It's impossible to tell with you sometimes. Okay, everyone. She suddenly calls out. Why don't we share the poems we wrote? Donut, I can't wait to read yours. Yeah, same. I fail to sound enthusiastic, but Sayori still trots away to retrieve her poem. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? Why aren't we just all gonna read them to everyone? Sayori and Monika enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monika wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monika's pristine handwriting. Natsuki and Yori reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same. We get to read the poems! Who should I show my poem to first? Who do I like most so far? Probably Yori. Yori seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion. She stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. She buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take her a while to get used to new people. It's fine. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is usually that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once she finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you could be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased. Biased? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about other people like that. It's fine. I'm not sure if she's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. She smiles dreamily as if it's a rare opportunity for her, which is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ooh, Ghost Under the Light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry to have such terrible handwriting. I wasn't thinking that at all, but it took you a long time to read. Ah. It's because I was enjoying it so much. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it's really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Aren't you into ghosts? Uh-huh. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it, after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. Just take me to the scary part.
Hello. It's supposed to get scary, and it wasn't getting scary fast enough for me. But I feel like today we're gonna, it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna go for it. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time. It's nothing really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Who should I show my poem to next? I feel like we should save the president for last, right? Won't she be the most critical? Let's show our neighbor. ... Oh my goodness, this is so good, Donut. I love it. I had no idea you were such a good writer. You must be seriously overreacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Well, maybe that's why. Because I have no idea what I like either. Yuri's opinion is way more constructive than this. Maybe even Natsuki's. Are you sure you don't like it just because I wrote it? Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people, you know? So when I read your poem, it's not just a poem, it's a donut poem. And that makes it feel extra special. Like I can feel your feelings in it. Sayori hugs the sheet against her chest. You're so weird, Sayori. I'm really happy that you just wrote one. It just reminds me how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. It's like I said before, Donut. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks. ... Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That would be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? That's a long line. I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah, especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school, it's bad to skip breakfast. It's true. You guys need to eat your breakfast. I get all cranky. Also true. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monika's the best. Yeah, but next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Let's do Natsuki. ... Why does everyone start with a damn ... Question mark. ... Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically it's not cute enough for your tastes? Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Is the name of the poem Eagles Can Fly? Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. This poem is shit. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. What is her message here? That animals can move? Alright. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Oh yeah. It hit me hard, Natsuki. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set it up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Time to show it to Monika! Hi, Donut. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand her my poem. I like this one. It makes me think of something Sayori would like. Is that so? You and Sayori are really good friends, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you had those sorts of things in common. Well, we may be good friends, but Sayori and I are actually really different. Well, that may be the case, but maybe there are also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. The way she talks about you, it sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. Even if you show it in different ways, it always ends up being more similar than you'd think. So I think that's the kind of vibe I get when reading your poem. You sure you're not reading it into it too much? I could be. Oh gosh, I sound like Yuri. But in any case, Sayori's writing has kind of a gentle feel to it. I can tell that she likes exploring with emotions, like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy sad things too? Yeah, that's totally unexpected. Well, to each their own, and you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Ah ha ha. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas! Already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between the words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monika are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Donut did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly interesting, which I haven't yet. And Donut liked my poem too, you know? He even told me he was impressed by it. Oh, I don't like that the sound stopped. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Donut appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Donut started showing up. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned toward me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. Donut, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she can get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Donut. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Donut? Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Oh, damn it. Oh god, here we go. Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait, that's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone else's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri, you're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, but here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well. And if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped, at this point being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. So Yuri, she doesn't need to... You know what? I'm going to do that. Goodbye. Good day. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches up her own poem from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki. She really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Donut. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, you know, I would never do anything so shameful. I would never get a boob job overnight. So, what thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind. I'm gonna go make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Oh, she came back. Well, mostly. Donut, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. All of the above. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. ... I think to myself. I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Donut, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Ehehe. Sayuri beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayuri and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayuri. About what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. It's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Donut, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. Every day is going to be so much fun. It looks like Sayuri still hasn't caught on to this kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds. I pat her on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use her as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Oh yeah, I gotta write another poem. Alone. Defeat. Cry. Rain cloud. Explode. Kiss. Boop. Kitty. Entropy. Jesus. Wonderful. Oh, I guess they hop when I pick a word that they like. Pain. What? Scars. Peace. Daydream. I'm picking a lot of Sayuri words. Vanilla. Infinite. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hi, Donut. Hi, Sayuri. Looks like you're in a good mood today. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. That's a pretty simple thing for you to get you in a good mood, but I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kinda hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayuri? What is happening right now? Why that, all of a sudden? No reason, really. I just wanted to look at it. Sayuri nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill out onto the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. I knew it. I can see right through you. That's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have brought a snack before coming to the club room. So either you're not hungry and wanted an excuse to take a walk, or you planned everything to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. And so that only leaves the one option. Wah! I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Ahaha. Yuri giggles. I didn't notice that she was listening in. Her face is in her book, as always. Ah! I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri, tell Donut to let me borrow some money. Don't get me involved in anything like that. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough. I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed in my book. I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way that you could think that. You were right, though. I did something bad, and now I have to accept the retribution. That. Still, coming from you, I guess there's a little devil inside of all of us, isn't there? Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that. The hell was that? Did I just slap her? What happened? Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk. Ow. What was... A cookie? Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? It's because I paid my restitution. Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked. Haha. I was just gonna give it to you, but then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction, though. Natsuki, that's so nice of you. Very nice of her to smack her in the face like that. Very nice. Sayori hugs the cookie. Geez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. So good. Sayori suddenly clasps her hands over her mouth. I bit my tongue. You're going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez. Beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah? Why'd you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her. Jeez. I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off of her. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie. Hey, did you seriously just do that? Mouthful, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well. Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monika, can you tell Sayori? Natsuki glances around. Monika isn't in the club room. Where's Monika anyway? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. That's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. You don't think she has a... I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. That's true. Excuse me? Suddenly, the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. There you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Monika chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. But boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? Monika quizzically glances at me. Never mind that. What held you up? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring, at least. I must not have heard it, since I was practicing piano. What? Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monika. I don't really. I kind of just started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool. You should play something for us. Monika looks at me. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. Yay! That sounds cool. I'd also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Donut. Monika smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Oh, don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently, and I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So, did I miss anything? No, not really. I choose to leave out Sayori's mischievous escapade. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. It looks like everyone has already settled down. Sayori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Yori is back to her book, and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. Donut! Donut! So Yori comes up to me. I'm gonna go get some supplies from another classroom. Wanna come with me? Supplies? What for? Well, you know how the festival is coming up? Me and Monica were gonna make some posters and stuff. So I need to go find some crayons and markers and glue sticks. I see. Sure, I'll go with you. Yay. Okay, Monica, we'll be back soon. Are you going with Donut to get the supplies? There's no need to trouble yourself. I'd be happy to go with him. Oh, but I wanted to go. It's so much fun exploring empty classrooms and stuff. Okay. It was just a suggestion. See if you can find poster paper too, okay? Okay. Ready, Donut? Yep, let's go. Sayori and I exit the club room. I follow behind as Sayori hums and skips around the hallway. Honestly, it feels like I'm taking a kid to the mall or something. Sayori finds pleasure in the simplest things sometimes. Hey, Sayori. What exactly are we doing for the festival anyway? I'm not sure how you would make an event out of literature. Me and Monica have it all planned out. Don't you worry. Is that so? Yep. We're gonna do a poetry performance. Oh god, a performance? Of what kind? Well, everyone is gonna take turns on stage and recite their favorite poems. That sounds kind of dull. Donut! You're not thinking about it the right way at all. It's not just about reading poems, it's about performing them. Like, you say the lines of the poem like, between my feet, the last remaining flower beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what ends have I summoned this joy? For now when I look in every direction, the once prosperous field before me is but a barren wasteland! Like that. How do I put this? I'm sure it's just me, but it's impossible for me to take you seriously when you talk like that. You meanie. I'm working super hard on this, you know. I know. I just meant that it's pretty unordinary contrast to your cute self. Don't say that, it's embarrassing. But I guess that means I'm doing a good job. Yeah, I guess so. I'm so excited. The festival is going to be so much fun. Sayori spins herself around in the hallway again. Hey, this classroom over here is empty. Let's begin the mission. The mission, eh? It's been a long time since I've spent time with Sayori like this. But in the end, she hasn't changed one bit. She's nothing but a ball of sunshine, drawing happy vibes from the world around her. It's a pretty nostalgic feeling for me. As the years went by, I began to hole myself up in my room more and more. So going adventuring with Sayori brings about a special sort of feeling I forgot I had in me. The two of us enter the classroom. Let's see what we have in here. Crayons! Sayori pulls a box full of crayons off the shelf. They're the best brand, too. They're kind of dirty, though. She starts pulling various crayons out of the box. Excuse me. Reading the color names. Alright, that's one down. Don't get distracted. We still need to find... Wait, I'm looking for my favorite color. Fine. Then at least move aside so I can look for the poster paper. Huh, I dropped one by accident. Oh. Kya! Sayori bends over and smacks her forehead right into the shelf. She falls to the floor, and the crayons spill all over her lap. Ow, 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 ow. You okay? My forehead. Sayori clutches her forehead. Geez, Sayori. That's just like you, isn't it? Come on, let me see. Since Sayori is sitting on the floor, I grab her by the waist and pull her out of the closet. You have to move your hands, but it hurts. Just do it for a second. Oh god, here we go. Sayori slowly releases her hands from her forehead. I gently brush her bangs to the side. Ow! Sorry. There's a huge red mark on the center of her forehead. A bump is starting to form as well. Man, that's gonna swell up. I should find you some ice. Donut. Where would I even find ice around this time? I guess a cold drink would do. You don't have to. I'm fine with looking like a unicorn. Even wincing from the pain, Sayori makes a silly joke. What are you saying? I'll be right back, okay? Okay. I pat Sayori on the shoulder and run out into the hallway. I locate the nearest vending machine. What should I get? It doesn't really matter since it will be used as an ice pack rather than to drink. But I know Sayori likes apple juice, so I purchased that one. In just a moment, I'm already returning to the classroom where I left her. She has one palm on her forehead and is using the other hand to clumsily scoop crayons back into the box. At least they were already in the wrong spots before I spilled them. Sayori, here. I hand her the bottle of apple juice. It's nice and cold. Sayori opens the cap and starts drinking from it. Sayori, what are you doing? It's for your forehead, idiot. Oh, sorry, I forgot. How hard did you hit your head? She places the bottle against the bump on her head. It stings. Just bear with it. It'll feel better soon. Looks like you cleaned up most of the crayons, so that's good. Hey, Donut. This kind of reminds you of growing up, doesn't it? What do you mean? You know how we used to play outside all the time? I would always try to keep up with you. You were kind of oblivious in some ways. Like I usually fell behind or had trouble climbing on the things you did. But sometimes when I tried to do the things I couldn't, I would get myself hurt. I'd fall and scrape myself or get a bump, and I would start crying really hard. And you would rush over as quick as you could, and you would try really hard to get me to stop crying. It was almost like you blamed yourself and we were afraid of getting in trouble if someone found out. Even though it wasn't your fault at all, you know? Did I really do that? Yeah, you don't remember? Come to think of it, maybe I do remember a bit. I guess I was always so focused on my games that I didn't pay enough attention to you. So in a way, it was my fault. Kind of like this time, too. If I wasn't rushing you out of the closet, you probably wouldn't have hit your head. I don't think you realize it, but you're always thinking about other people. Even after all these years. It's been 84 years. You're rushing to help me, even though I'm just being clumsy. You're really a sweetheart. Don't call me that. And I don't really do this kind of thing all the time. I guess when it comes to you, it just feels natural. Oh my god, they're so in love. Before I even knew it, I'm treating you like that. I guess that's what happens when you've been friends for so long. Really? Maybe you're right. Donut. I'm so glad that nothing's changed between us. Do you think it'll be like this forever? Forever? If I'm honest to myself, there's no telling where we'll end up after college. So it wouldn't be fair for me to make any promises, but, well, I hope so. It's been this long already, right? I can't imagine you ever changing, so my hopes are up. I'm so happy. Sayori has a whimsical expression in her eyes. We remain silent for a moment. She's so silly and clumsy on the outside that when I see her in deep thought like this, it makes me not want to disturb her. I guess we should go back. I don't want to worry Monica, you know? Good luck with that. She's gonna see your forehead either way. Not if I hide it under my bangs. Sayori hops to her feet. Ah! She clutches her forehead again. Don't stand up fast after hurting yourself. Well, I guess it's too late now. Anyway, let's go. I follow Sayori out of the classroom. Sayori plays with her bangs to try to hide the bump, but without much success. In a moment, we make it back to the club room. Ah, you're back. Good timing. I was just about ready to start with our sharing poems. Sayori, your forehead. She's fine, don't worry about. I was playing with the crayons and smacked my forehead onto the shelf! Well, anyway, were you able to find everything we needed? Uh-huh, I have it right. Huh? Sayori frantically glances around herself. I forgot all of the stuff. Calm down, Sayori. I have it all right here. I found the poster paper, too. Ah, sounds like you ended up doing all the work, Donut. Huh? Well, Sayori, I failed to come up with an excuse for Sayori. I made it an adventure. Yeah, that. Oh, okay. In any case, good work. I'll start working on the posters tonight. Me too. Okay, everyone. Are you ready to share your poems? Guess I should grab mine. After making sure the crayon box is closed tightly, I return to my seat.